size socket and everything we got?
So we got a 14mm socket for the 2 caliper bolts. We're going to take that off. We're going to collapse the 2 pistons. We got a 14 here, and the boot's turning, of course, so I got to get a wrench for that on the inside here. Let me see if I can crack the top one loose. Yeah, they're both turning. All right, let me get something to grab this. Crack them loose, they just come right off. Yeah. The caliper back. If I can get the brake shoes, they got these little spring clips, so we're going to take the caliper off and we'll use the 2 vice grip pistons that we have. We'll collapse the 2 pistons like that. So these brakes have these little clips on them. A lot of the Toyotas use these. Just pry them out. That's what springs it's supposed to spring the brake pads out. Okay, we can leave these on the bar for now. Now this has a giant male Torx, and I can use a 6.16 or a 9 or a 5/8 to crack these loose, and that's what I'm going to use. And they're tight, they're going to go hard the whole way. So I'm going to get both of these out and we'll come right back here. Hey, these were fun. Loctite.
There you go.
Okay, get this one out. Slide that brake bar off. We got a 5mm on here, and we got to impact this to get the rotor off. Okay, like that. And it looks like there's only one, so slip that off. Oh, look at that, huh?
There you go.
It's fancy. And never sees this all up. We're going to depress our caliper pistons. So I'm putting a little pressure on this one.
So right now what we're doing is we're collapsing the brake pistons into the caliper.
And they're collapsing nice and easy. It's what we want to see. Collapse them until they bottom. Okay, that one's bottomed. And I'll just lock this one, and then I'll collapse this one, tighten this one up a little bit. You can see it going in easy. I think that's about it. Okay, that's it. That one's bottomed. Boots are in good shape. You take this one off. Okay, boots in good shape. We're gonna put some brake caliper pin lube on the boots to keep them moist like we usually do. Put a little on the backside here. We're gonna never seize this up, so we're gonna never seize these two bolts, so we're gonna get this stuff done right now, and then we'll change our brake pads over in the brake bar. All right, so we're putting the lube on the caliper boots, keep them nice and moist. Okay. Okay, we don't need a lot. And I put a little on the back sides here where it rides the brake pad. And we're gonna never seize our spindle hub bearing where the wheel rides. Kevin took the wheels off. They were a little stiff to come off. So if they ever get a flat tire, this is gonna help get the tire right off. And we're gonna put a little on our bolt right here. Goes in here. Now these are funky. I didn't have this size socket, and I was able to put a 5/8 on there. It didn't damage it at all. I'll have to see if I can get one of these off the tool guy. So when another 50,000 miles, when Kevin needs a brake job, I'll have the right tool for him. Okay. I haven't ran into this yet on a vehicle. Just sit those in there. All right, so the caliper's ready. We're ready for our new rotor that we can bolt on. We'll probably take a little of this never seize and just put a little on the threads on this that holds the rotor on. So let's go get the rotor, and we'll put the rotor on first and get that done. Then we'll load the brake bar up. We're matching up our rotor. We slide them together to make sure the depth is correct, and they got the same lug pattern. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're spraying this with brake clean just to get the oil residue off of it. We'll switch it over. Now it's on everything, so I usually only clean the disc. So as you're driving this thing, you may have a little smell until this coating burns off, but okay. All right, so we get this and line up that hole. Why do they do that? Why do they do that?
So you don't want the studs taken over.
There's a step in the rotor to make sure we catch the right hole here. And of course, you got to hold it on the whole way, or it's going to fall off.
Ask us how we know.
Yeah. Okay. So after I get the thing on the caliper and everything, I'll give this thing a shot to lock it in place. All right, so this brake job's just getting better and better. It's got this style clip like my Ford Expedition has. And they are a pain in the donkey to get on, so. But we're gonna do it as usual. I'll tell you, this thing's got 50,000 miles on it, and look at the brake pads still left in it. We're got about 40% left, and 35% maybe, and this thing will work great on brakes. So, okay, so let's get the brake pads and the clips. We're gonna roll these clips out. They're very sharp, so I don't think you really want to get your fingers in here too much. So if you can. Okay. Oh, I got a live one.
I know.
So we got a wire brush. I'm gonna get the little file, see if it fits in there. Okay, I'm gonna have a little file. Love this little file. So it's gonna take, as these things get older, they get rusty and scaly. And if you're not replacing them, when you put the clips on, if they're swollen, they push the clips outward, and then you have a hard time getting your brake pads in. So you want to make sure that these are nice and clean. All right, now we'll go into the next one here. Do the same thing. I got some clips here, see if we can match them up. And I'll look this. This one up like that. Like I said, these things are really sharp.
Hey, they never seem
watch your finger.
They never seem to pop right in for you, do they? That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, okay. All right. Put that one on there. They gave us the new things for the brake pads, which is cool.
Yeah, it works. These springs are good.
All right, that looks like that. So it's got a clip here, and you catch it on the inside first, and then you try and push it down onto the other one. All right, we got that clip rolled down there, nice. All right, let's get this side. All right, this one is for here. There it is. Okay, we get that one down good. There it goes. Okay, so we got the thing on the inside there where my thumb is. It's seated down here. So these are all seated. All right. Different manufacturers are doing different stuff on clips for these. So we've got in this bag, we've got the right pads. They give us, oh yeah, we use some of these little crappy clips too.
A bag of crappy clips.
Crappy clips. So I've got one brake pad I'm going to set up. This is going to be the inboard caliper piston. So this one has a clip like this that locks on into here. And then this one has the clip here that locks on. Okay. So see, these are going to be the same. This one's going to go on the inside on this one, and then our other one. Let's get this one set up. This one has the clip on the top, like this. Then it's got the clip on the bottom, like such. Okay, so we're gonna get our brake caliper lube for that. Fill these up with some lube.
So what this is brake caliper pin grease, and I'll throw a link to it in the description of the video for you. People ask me all the time, "We're gonna get that stuff."
Yeah, it's if you buy it on Amazon, you know it's a little pricey, but it's the best high temp stuff. So I think it was like $15 a bottle. When you buy it at the store,
That's the
it's
stuff we're
crazy.
using.
It's 25. So all right, so this is the one that we have that mimics our brake pad, which is the inboard one here. So now we got to try and slide these in here, and this is what makes it tough with these clips. Okay, so they never really let them go completely down. See how they're trying to push out? So this is like my Ford, and it's a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna probably sit this bar on and then put the brake pads on it after. So let's do it that way.
Okay.
And so we're going to lube up the caliper pins. Try to take a little blob of this and put it in the hole, so that when I press the pin in, it forces some of it back out into the boot. So this one has a rubber sleeve on the bottom of it. And this is the bottom boot here. Okay, move this up. Okay, so we get that one done. And we're gonna go bolt this on. These are kind of a pain to put on. You gotta try and hold them together and then put these clips on. So I'm gonna sit the bar, bolt the bar on. I'll sit these on the lift, and I'll come back and I'll get the brake pads. I'm gonna sit the bar on. Try and get one of these bolts started. Okay, I'm gonna get the ratchet. We'll tighten these down. All right, that's tight. That's tight. All right, so this little clip right here is going to be trying to push the brake pad out. That's what makes this suck right now. So we're going to put this one in place. And I might squish it with those vice grips after I put it on. So we're doing the same on the other side.
There we go there.
Okay, that one slid in. I don't know why this one wasn't sliding in. We'll try and put that one in. Oh, you have to tap that one in. Okay, got these two clips here, and these are going to try and force the brake pads out. And this can be a pain. So you got to try and squeeze these together while you're putting these in, because it'll just spring the shoe out on you. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to hold this while I try and grab the caliper here. I get the caliper to start. Okay. Because it's trying to spring the shoes out right now. My thumb. So I put that grease in that pin, and it's fighting me a little bit right now. Okay. Okay. All right. See how easy that was? Here's my caliper bolts. Let's put little no-sees on them. Okay, let me tighten these up. These are our 14s. Now the boot's going to want to try and turn sometimes, so we'll just put the pin, I should say. Just put a little lock on it. Okay, there's that. Okay, now it's tight. All right, so we've got everything back together. The caliper's on. We showed you how to put the little spring tensioners in there, and then the clips. There's kind of a lot to this thing. So these clips on the bottom are trying to push the brake shoe out right here. So there's one on the bottom, there's one on the top, and these slide on the inside for tension so it doesn't have a rattle up and down. And then the V clips are kind of are pushing pressure on the brake pads this way with the help of the caliper pushing it down. So they don't want the thing to move up and down or out like this. And then these things are helping push the brake pads out so that they don't stick to the rotor when you step on the brake. So we've got our everything back on. We're just going to take our hammer and we're going to just give this another lock. Let me grab the hammer here. So these things have a lock to them as well. That's all I need to do. Give it a little lock, it's tight. And we've got never sees on here for our rim now. And this side is going to be the same procedure on the left front side.
And then before you start the vehicle and take off, make sure you pump the brakes to get your brake pedal back.
Yep, exactly.